Well, baby, I'm on it with a bottle of wine and an old dirt road. Are you ready to go? Hey, thanks everybody for joining us today on Live Music Nation podcast. I'm your host, Jake Gill. Today we're with Kara at Rodeo Cinema in Oklahoma. Kara, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, good. Is it Kara, not Kara?
It's Kara. You got it right. Yeah.
Good, good. Kara, give us a little background on you and where you grew up, and then how you came to the position as executive director there at Rodeo Cinema.
I actually came to the States when I was 4. I grew up in the Midwest, Kansas girl, no place like home. And I loved the arts. I actually was a singer, and the theater, live theater, was sort of the accessibility of that. So I started out as a live theater performer and kind of made a name doing a specific show called Always Patsy Cline. I was
Oh,
Patsy
wow.
Cline.
Nice.
Yeah. And then I did that for many years and decided I wanted to get involved in other ways. And
Well, baby, I'm on it with a bottle of wine and an old dirt road. Are you ready to go?
Oklahoma, so much of our arts community is segmented. We have our live musicians, we have our live theater, we have film, we have dance, visual arts, but none of them really come together. And I wanted to do something about it. So I have my degree is in marketing, my bachelor's in marketing, and then I ended up getting my MBA with an emphasis in nonprofit administration.
Oh,
And
fantastic.
yeah, and so long story short, Rodeo Cinema was established in 2018, right before the pandemic hit. They were kind of getting their legs and trying to create a nonprofit art house here in Oklahoma City. And the pandemic really changed everything and what that looks like. And so they tapped me and was kind of hoping that I would be able to bring in a more diversified portfolio. And so that's what we're doing.
Fantastic. So tell us about Rodeo Cinema. What is their idea? What is their concept?
So Rodeo Cinema, we're actually about to go through a full rebrand and become Rodeo Art House. And essentially what that means is there's art houses on the Midwest and on the East Coast, but here in the Midwest, not as much. And I don't even think Oklahoma City has anything like that. And for those who aren't aware, an art house is essentially a venue where you can find anything. You can find live music, concerts, comedy, movies, live theater. It's a place that art can really come together. And that is our vision moving forward.
Very good, very good. What was it for you? So before the Patsy Cline era for you, what was it that intrigued you about live performance, art, music in general?
I think it's one of those things that, when you're young, it's like it's a bug. It just hits you, and you can't deny it. It's just kind of part of who you are, and you're the person who's always singing or humming, and um, it's just it's a great way of expressing yourself. And it's also, I was really never into sports. I always thought it was kind of funny because I was like, yeah, it teaches team efforts. And I'm like, man, theater really teaches team efforts. If you want to talk about teams, all that stuff that happens beyond the actors, but the musicians in the pit and the tech crew running, lights and sound, and the stage manager calling things, that's a team effort. So I don't know, I just thought it's kind of a skill that everybody can use in life.
Yeah, yeah. Where'd you grow up in Kansas at?
Parsons, Kansas, small
Parsons,
town.
Kansas. So southeast, right? Or definitely east. Yeah.
Southeast,
Yeah.
about an hour away from Joplin, Missouri. I think that's
Oh,
probably
okay.
the
Yeah.
biggest area.
Yeah. Very good. What age, now I don't want to say what age, but what stage in life were you when you started to see this vision of I want to be in a venue that does more than just one thing?
I think it's the combination of being on the other side of it as an artist and meeting other artists who said things to me like, I've got something really great. I just don't have a stage, or nothing's accessible to me. I'm not doing what they're doing. And that kind of was just like a reoccurring theme. I got this frustration with, you're a young artist, you don't have a lot of money, and to rent a venue, at $1,500 and pray to God you sell tickets is just too big of a risk. And there's just so much, there's this concept of it's all together, it's all intermingled. Music theater, live music, film and music, they're all one and the same. And so trying to allow everybody to come together and realize when they're together, they're stronger and there can be more creativity. So it was just, I think, hearing all of that, and even myself personally, when I would come up with something new and saying, hey, I want to do this, and they'd be like, yeah, no.
Yeah, absolutely. So how is the let's call it an art house now? How is your art house structured? Are you guys nonprofit? Are you a for profit? How is that structured?
We are a nonprofit. So, we really rely on the community and the support of the community, sponsors and grants and things of that nature. We really like that model because, one, it means it belongs to the community, and an art house should. And it also, allows us to keep our ticket prices accessible. We want art to be accessible.
What percent of your job and your job title is spent on fundraising?
Oh man. It's funny because in a small nonprofit, especially when you're the executive director, there's these ideas and concepts of like glamour or whatever, and you're like, nah, it's not. It's not that much. It's not glamorous. I wear a lot of hats. So fundraising, development, fiduciary responsibility, marketing. I play a lot of parts in it, and it kind of has to be that way for us to grow and to bring that awareness. It's one of those things that if I wanted to get rich, I'd work in a for-profit, but I'm passionate, so I work in a nonprofit.
Yeah, no, I fully understand that. Hey, let's talk to 6-year-old Kara and 6-year-old Jake. If you wanted to give the young person who maybe feels like they have an interest in the arts, what's a great way for them to get started at an early age?
I would say the best way is to just put yourself out there. For me, it was like every talent show, every time there was a community theater production, I showed up. I was there for it. I remember being 5, 6 years old and singing at the senior center during ceramics hour. And
Yeah.
I mean, if somebody will be an audience, let them be an audience. Create your own work and make your family sit in your living room and put on your shows. And it just starts from that.
Okay, let's take this one step further. Let's say you don't have a family that supports you and you're home watching this right now. You're 5, 6, 7, 8 years old. You don't have a family. You don't have the means. What are some ways that that person can start honing and perfecting their skills and developing their skills in their own bedroom?
It's funny because I really didn't have that family that supported me. And so for me, it was, I would use your imagination, create your own work, watch yourself in the mirror. I don't care if it's a hairbrush, treat it like your microphone and find stage presence in that. And record yourself, listen to yourself, because you sound way different than you think you sound. It's just, you have to have the drive and the passion to do it. And you have to also be comfortable in being uncomfortable. So, I hate telling artists like, do things for free, but the truth is, yeah, do it for free starting out. You're going to have to.
Yeah.
You're going to have to build a name for yourself, and you're going to have to swallow your pride, and also be specific in what you're curating. Don't just take every gig if they're putting you on a back patio, because the audience isn't listening to you. Treat everything that you do as a theatrical experience. If you're going to sit up there with your acoustic guitar and sing some songs, there better be some conversation with that audience. There better be some interaction. It's just not, you have to, they're not here for your art. They're here for knowing who you are as an artist. And step number 1 is find out who you are as an artist.
That's fantastic. You gave us like 10 bits of information right there in 30 seconds that are incredible. Okay, so a couple of fun questions here. And I like this one because I have some background with it. As a kid, what was your favorite cartoon and why?
Ooh, gosh, that's hard. I'm gonna go with The Little Mermaid just because I really wanted to be Ariel, and it was one of those songs that I would sing on repeat. And I grew up out in the country, and we had like a huge propane tank. I can't believe I'm sharing this. And I would like jump on it like it was my rock,
Right,
make sure to hit that belting note.
Right.
But it's like, that's things like that and as crazy as it sounds, just playing pretend made me a better artist.
That's awesome. I don't know if you're on TikTok or not, but that's one of the trends of artists right now is they show their little kid pictures and some of the scenarios they did as a little kid, and they fast forward to where they're at now. So that's cool. So I'll share you with mine, since you shared yours with mine with the Muppet Babies, and you touched it on earlier because you used the word imagination, and I loved any and every cartoon that like took you to another place, and they used their imagination, and that show did it every Saturday morning. It was as an artist, it was. I look back now and it just kind of hit me when you were telling me that. I was like, man, that's why I love that show so much, because they just used their imagination and they created their own world, and that's super crazy. Okay, two more. What's your all-time favorite theatrical production or concert you've ever seen in person?
Oh, you're hitting some hard ones. Okay. It's cliche, but I'm going to say it. Phantom of the Opera. I saw Phantom of the Opera. It was like a touring production, and I grew up not from well means, and I scored a free ticket and I got to go. And I remember just being like, oh my gosh, what is this? This is amazing. And it captivated me, and it was this thing that made me want it even more. I wanted to be it.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Okay, final question. You could bring one actor production, dead or alive, on or off Broadway, or musical act, dead or alive, to Rodeo Cinema. No cost is an issue. Who would you bring?
No, that's really, really hard. Okay. There's the like specific, like quick Kara answer, which of course, like Kara's answer is the Beatles. That's my personal, because that's just amazing. Who wouldn't want that? But the specific, like strategic answer as the executive director, knowing like our district and that we're located in the stockyards and everything, I'm going to say I would reprise Hal Holbrook's Mark Twain Tonight.
Oh, wow.
And bring him back and allow him to do that one-man show on our stage. Yeah, that
would be cool. That would be legendary. Absolutely. Yeah. Thank you so much. Well, thank you for being on with us today, Kara. I appreciate you greatly. I'm excited. I just, when I looked up your website, oh, by the way, how do people find out what's going on at Rodeo Cinema?
Go to rodeocinema.org or follow us on Facebook or Instagram. Go to our website and join our mailing list, and also pop by one of our locations. We've got two, one in the stockyards and one on Film Row. So
very cool. And will you be just redirecting your web address, or are you going to completely redo your web address as well?
We're going to be, we'll be redirecting the web address, but eventually it will be rodeoarthouse.org. But yeah, everything, we're about to do a nice little rebrand, logo launch, and website and all that good stuff.
Fantastic. I'm excited to visit. I can't wait to see what's going on down there. That's awesome. So thank you for being on with us. I appreciate it, Kara.
Thanks for having me.
Well, baby, I'm on it with a bottle of